India has a 7,000-kilometer long coastline and is the 7th biggest country in the world. India trades with the world mostly via the sea, as the country is surrounded by Pakistan, Tibet, Bangladesh and Myanmar, all of whom are not ideal trading partners. So despite being the 5th biggest global economy which depends on maritime trade, guess what is India's share in the global shipbuilding market? No, it's not 7% or 5% or 3 or even 1%. India currently accounts only for 0.5%. No, I'm sorry. It's 0.05% of the global shipbuilding market. This is shockingly low for a nation which has ambitions of reclaiming its place as one of the biggest global economies by 2047. It's like shipbuilding and maritime industries have just been ignored since independence. Well, some people might say, what's the use of building ships when you can just hire them? However, stats suggest that shipbuilding and boosting maritime infrastructure has a ripple effect on other industries, which in turn has a positive impact on a nation's economy. Just have a look at the world's top shipbuilding nations, for example. The top spot is occupied by China, which builds 51% of all global ships by tonnage. Second spot is occupied by South Korea at 28%, and Japan completes the top three with a 15% market share. These nations in one corner of the world have a fleet of self-owned ships to transport their products to each and every global market. The Philippines, Italy, France, Germany, Finland, Taiwan and Russia complete the top 10 list. India currently occupies the 22nd spot in global shipbuilding rankings, but that's about to change. The Modi government has revealed a new 30,000 crore rupee Maritime Development Fund to boost the shipbuilding industry and provide India with a fleet of tankers and transport ships ready to connect to the world. The mission is to accelerate India's growth, bringing it to within the top 10 by 2030 with a 5% market share, and then enter the top 5 in the world by 2047 or 100 years of India's independence. Pushpank Kaushik, who's the chief executive of Jasper Shipping, said, quote, "Presently, we have less than 1% of global tonnage, and it is not enough to achieve the targeted economic growth and development of the nation. Domestic shipbuilding will not only support Indian ship owners, but will also become an alternate shipbuilding destination away from Vietnam, Korea, Japan and China," unquote. The mega plan also involves development of 6 new deep water ports and 2 new transshipment hubs. According to the mission announced by India's Union Minister for Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, the project will complement the 1.5 lakh crore rupees investment which has been planned to transform the country's shipping ports. According to reports, the Ports and Shipping Ministry is in the process of finalizing a note which will provide 25% subsidy to specialized vessels such as hydrogen-powered vessels, as well as 30% subsidy for green vessels which run on electricity or biofuels. Now, this also aligns with India's pledge for net zero carbon emissions by 2075 and is an effort to move away from fossil fuels, which not only harm the environment but also destroy marine ecosystems. Mr. Madhu Nair, who's the MD and chairman of the government-owned Cochin shipyard, has been quoted by India Shipping News saying, quote, "Considering the enormous export volume and the comparatively small number of India-built and owned ships used to transport these goods, our country's shipbuilding and ship repair industry deserves strong support. Shipbuilding has a pivotal role in our industry, and driving its development will have cascading positive effects on other industries," unquote. Another key goal of the government incentive plan is to increase the share of India-owned ships transporting these goods from 5% currently to about 7% before 2030 and then closer to 70% by 2047. Having majorly India-owned ships would mean timely transport and better connectivity with global supply chains. So what works in India's favor? Firstly, it's India's highly strategic location in the middle of the Indian Ocean, through which some of the world's busiest shipping lanes pass. Nearly 80% of the world's oil and gas transport passes through the Indian Ocean. Nearly 90,000 cargo vessels amounting to 9.8 billion tons of cargo travel through India's strategic backyard each year, amounting to nearly $7 trillion worth of global trade. Another key factor is India's competitive manufacturing and labor costs. which could accelerate the shipbuilding industry if given the right incentive. But what do you believe? Is the government right to focus on becoming a global shipbuilding and maritime powerhouse to support India's economic growth? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.